Okay, we're live. DefNo system day 4. Yeah.
5.
Yes. 5.
5.
DEF
Yeah.
and yeah. Okay.
Yeah. 5.
So today, as you know, marvelous marketing with Marina Mondays. We're rolling through the DefNo system, and today is online marketing. So direct mail, email marketing, free marketing, networking. And now the O is online marketing, which, by the way, is I think it's the most talked about, the most misunderstood, the most scary, because you can't touch it, you can't manipulate it the way you want, and maybe the most effective to reach the widest audience for the lowest cost, whether it's your time or money. So I love online marketing. I absolutely love it. And I'm really excited to find out more about what you have to say about it, because I'm going to be taking notes.
Thank you, Ian. Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend. I hope you had a great time with your family, friends, whoever you spent it with. I'm grateful to be part of this community. So thank you again, Ian and FlipTrader. But welcome to Marketing Mondays with Marina. We're going through the DefNo's framework, which is my 6 major marketing campaigns or categories that every real estate investor should be implementing in order to scale their business and get, kind of like a flood of leads coming into your office consistently. No leads equals no deals, right? Go back and watch all of my training. But I do want to stress, okay, so let's kind of zone in on the O part. We had direct mail, email, and CRM, which was E. The F is free marketing, which if you didn't watch that, go watch that. I had some awesome tips on that. N, which is networking. And then right now we're on O, which is online marketing and social media. Okay. And there's 4 major categories that I kind of broke down: online, social media. But before we get started, basically, the definition of marketing is presenting your services in such a way where X is eager to work with you, right? Motivated sellers, investors, buyers, contract, just plug in whoever you're targeting, right, for your marketing. But the key part here, the key word is presenting. What does presenting means? You need to be seen. You need to be visible. Okay. And there has never been a better time to be seen and visible than when social media came out, right? What is more powerful than, a free tool like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn? These are free tools that allow you and give you the capacity to be seen every single day, literally every single second, every single hour of the day. And not only that, they're actually a system now where you can automate, these online vehicles where you're not spending all your time being on social media. You can create automated systems or scheduled posts or content that goes, you can schedule a week, a month, a year out using amazing tools for you to be consistently seen, with whatever your chosen profession is, which is, real estate investing in this particular case. But yeah, that's the whole point of, why online is so powerful. I gave you an example. What my students ask me, Marina, what should I be doing, online or offline marketing? Both are equally as important. And I went into why the guerrilla offline marketing is important, right? And next week I'll go into signage. However, but today we're focusing on online. There is nothing more powerful for your brand identity, your brand voice, who you want to be in this business world, REI business world, than social media. Here is where I see where most investors kind of hit their speed bumps or fail, per se. Okay. And the reason I say fail is I want you to listen very closely to what I'm about to say. Producer versus consumer. The top real estate investors are using online marketing as a producer. They are producing content for their businesses to be seen consistently. However, this is where investors, again, I don't want to use the word fail, but like hit a speed bump, which is they're consumers. They're sitting there spending hours and hours being, knowledge kind of junkies or addicts, right? And of course, that's amazing because you're gaining knowledge. But if you are consuming more than you are producing in your online marketing department, in your real estate investment business, that is where I see the biggest hiccup for real estate investors. So producing means you're creating. Consuming obviously means that you are watching what's creating. So the best advice I'm going to give you before I kind of get started on my 4 major categories is start getting in the mindset of being a producer versus consumer. Okay. So let's talk about the 4 major categories that I have with online marketing. Okay. There's your website, SEO, search engine optimization, blogging. And again, all of these work together. Okay. And then finally, social media. Those are the 4 key where in my $1 million marketing program, this is where I say, hey, let's focus on these 4 major categories, again, what do I say? Consistently and diversifying. So let's talk about consistency. So one of the number one things that gives you credibility and to be seen is your website. When somebody meets you or gets a direct mail piece or sees you in any other way, the first thing they're going to go do is check your website. So the best advice I'm going to give you is with your website. Again, I can have a whole training on this, but I'm going to give you 2 major tips with your website. Number 1, design matters. All of the website experts say the same thing. People care about your design and if it's updated and if it's more new school than old school, right? So make sure you invest a little money in making sure your website is updated and it's not something that you were doing like 10 years ago, right? Because people can tell, okay? Number 2, the second major tip with websites is, you're a real estate investor. So on your website, when somebody visits your website, and I want somebody to put this in the chat, who do you think your number 1 target should be when somebody visits your website? Like, who do you want to act first, when they visit your website? And you can put it in the chat, but the answer is motivated sellers. Okay. The first thing, the major kind of billboard or the best part of real estate on your website, it should say very simply, we buy houses cash, you need to sell your home fast, whatever it is, the top banner, a video that you have when they come to your website. Here's the deal. This is why the number 1 thing on the top of your website should be a place where motivated sellers can quickly find out information about your business and put in their information, is because they are the most urgent, people who are raising their hand on your website. There's a sense of urgency when they go on your website. They want to know the information that's going to help them right away. And if your website is not going to do that for them, they're just going to go to the next investor's website. Okay. So make your initial presentation very motivated seller friendly. And of course, motivated sellers are, guess what? The number 1 money maker in your business, in terms of those leads are going to ultimately be the thing that brings you the most profit. Is it going to be your end buyers? Yeah, yes, but not really, right? You want the front end motivated sellers to be able to figure out, how to get the information on your website and take action on that. Everybody else can kind of peruse and look at your website and find what they need, right? But the motivated sellers, they need that info right away, and you want their information, right? So make that really easy for them, okay? So have a good design, make it fast, user friendly, and really zone in on the motivated sellers, making sure that they have a place where right when they type in your domain, they have a place to go to very quickly to get the information that they need and to take action on giving you a call, filling out your form, good call to action. Now, blogging and SEO, they kind of go hand in hand, right? So let's talk about search engine optimization. Search engine optimization is basically a couple things, which is creating content using keywords all over your website, right? In order for you to be what? Findable. Okay. Number 1, you want to be findable and also go up in rank in the search engines. So the more, the more you put in terms of content with the right keyword. So for example, I'm a Boston real estate investor. The more keywords that I use that says need to sell home fast, cash buyer, any location, any condition, Boston, Boston area, South Shore, Boston, the more content I consistently put on my website will make my website rank higher on search engines and also be findable. People can find me just by on the search engines, which is great. And the number one way to do that with your website is obviously on your website pages, right? Your about page, your home page, your testimonials page, your sellers page, investors page, whatever pages, right? So step one is for good SEO is your website pages. But step two is blogging, which leads us through our third category. Blogging can be an amazing way for you to use SEO, good keyword, meta descriptions, that will be able to rank your website higher, where people can find you very quickly as the go-to person in your industry. Another thing is putting your YouTube videos somewhere on your website. That's going to make you rank really a lot higher, right? If you do informational videos and you do the right keywords on those YouTube videos, then put them on your website. I mean, again, all of these things are kind of working together, right? All right, so we have website, we had SEO, which is search engine optimization. You're optimizing your website using blogs, right, to rank higher and be very findable to your target, okay, who you're presenting to. And again, who's your number one target that you should be presenting to? Your motivated sellers, okay? And then lastly is the big loaded one. Again, this could be its own category, but I'm putting it under online because it is an online marketing, which is social media. Social media, I can't stress enough. It's free for now, right? It's free. You can automate it, and you can do it every day, 2 times a day, 3 times a day. And there are amazing tools for you to do that. Number one, AI, artificial intelligence, Chat GPT. That's probably one of the number one tools for you as an REI marketer to use to, number one, create blogs on, create video scripts on for your social media, create social media scripts. I have an amazing training, Ian. Maybe we can drop it in the comments, or put it somewhere where. Yeah, I'll send it over to you. I did an AI for the REI marketer. I went through my Defnos category and I show you how to create all this amazing content using AI as a tool for you to get content out the door. Now, the most important piece of social media is, number one, being seen consistently, right? And again, Facebook and Instagram has this amazing something called like post scheduler, where you can schedule posts again for the next year if you wanted to, with all of this amazing content of yours. But here's the other great thing about social media, website, social media, blogging, all how they all kind of come together. You will create a piece of content, and from that piece of content, you can, it's kind of like an octopus, right? Like, let's just say I'm doing this video, right? I can take snippets of this video and put it on all of my social media as posts, on all of my social media as a story. I can go on live and tell them about this video, right? I can create a blog from it. I can create a video, a YouTube video. I can go on LinkedIn and share my experience on, like, sky is the limit with how you can take a piece of content and, like an octopus, repurpose it and, put it out into the world for months and years to come consistently, but the key is you have to be consistently doing this. And the number one thing that I notice is that holds investors back from this is fear of being seen, right? What is the number, and again, this is my opinion, what is the number one fear in the world? I think it's like public speaking. It's number one or two, right? And this is where I think most investors, like when I really think about it, this is where most investors kind of have this intense fear, because going out on video and putting yourself out on these social media channels is like public speaking. And I think people don't I understand that fear because it is one of the number one fears that people have. So I understand how putting yourself out there in the social media networks can be very fearful, because in my opinion, it is like a branch of public speaking. But again, with every fear, it can be conquered by just actually getting out, doing it. You're not going to be perfect, right? Nobody is perfect on the first, second, third, even 10th try, right? You just have to keep getting out there, striking out until you get those home runs, those bases, first base, second base, third bases, right? You just have to do it, okay? With everything else. I mean, the fact that you took it, you had a calling to be in this business, right? Real estate investment business, right? There was a fear behind it, fear of starting your own business, but you did it. Okay. Now it's time to conquer your marketing fears so you can be seen consistently, but creating systems behind, your website, blogging, so you can be findable, searchable on the search engines, but also in social media as well. And the major way to do that is by creating content and creating all these octopus legs to get your message, your services, the benefits of working with you just out the door for who you're trying to target. So I'm kind of going to stop there.
Yeah.
I think that was good. Those 4 major categories in terms of
I agree.
starting you somewhere.
You know what's interesting about doing video or like the public speaking aspect of social media? The thing that I went through is that in a auditorium or standing in front of a group of people, you can instantly see the judgment that's going on in your own head. You can instantly all the thoughts and fears of judgment, which is really what we are fearful of, is judgment.
Of course,
and being outcast. You can start to look at the people's faces. But I think it's even worse on social media, because when you post a video, your mind is still thinking about being judged, but you have no idea until people start making comments, and you can drive yourself crazy thinking, what are people going to think about this video? I mean, I've been doing video for a long time, and I actually hired a coach to help me do video. They would sit with me on Zoom, and I would cut these little clips that were like 30 seconds about the real estate market, or about decluttering your home for spring, or whatever it might be, or how to set up for showings. And I learned that, like, that's the importance of coaching. That's the importance of going to someone that's an expert, because all those fears in your head, and we've talked about it before with the money aspect. What if I make a mistake? I'm new at this. You got to find somebody that's ahead of you that has done it and has failed, and you can learn from their mistakes. But you also have to, which is a plug for Yun's training on Wednesday morning, you also have to manage your own thoughts and feelings inside, which are most of the time, they're not reasonable, and they're not even real. Like, I can tell you, I know people that for 2 years, and if they're watching this, they're going to know exactly who they are. 2 years, I've been telling them, you got to cut videos. You got to cut videos. And they're like, yeah, I think I'm going to do it next week. 2 years now, no videos, because they're so worried about, well, they look good. What if they stutter? And I said, do you think reality TV shows, although somewhat scripted, you think they're trying to capture the perfect? They're trying to capture the real, the stutters and the losing your place and the, mispronunciation of they're trying to capture everything. And authentic, that's what social media does. Yeah.
Authentic and real wins every time, right? Exactly. Like, my students know what they see is what they get with me. You know what I mean? Like, what they saw on stage is what they get with me in the coaching program, what they get with me, in accountability. In fact, I call myself Bill Belichick, in my accountability membership, I'm all nicey on the knowledge part, but then I turn into Bill Belichick when accountability starts.
Yeah.
But what you see is what you get, and I'm telling you, authentic always, wins. Let me give 2 little pro tips. Yep. Number 1, you can do scripted. Okay. Start with scripted. There's Big VU, there's teleprompter.com. Start with your services. So what I would recommend is talk about what you know. Okay. So you can talk about something like, hey, I'm a local real estate investor right here in Boston, Massachusetts. Create a video of, how you can buy someone's property. One of the many reasons why homeowners love to work with us is because we buy as is. What that means for you is you don't have to do any repairs. You can leave all of your unwanted items. All you have to do is take what you want and come to the closing, and list all your benefits. Put that in a script, put it in Big VU, go to one of your properties, do it in your car. I don't care where you do it, but that can be a video that you post every single week on how you can buy people's homes. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
So
the thing that we used to do when we ran a wholesale company in Baltimore, the thing that we would do is in our unique value proposition, I'd say, all right, who are the competitors? It's the guy that just bought a $50,000 course and now he's like trying to get his money back and figure out how to get ROI, and he's just banging doors and he's in street clothes. I said, the thing that we have to say is what makes us different. And I'll say, like, look, we're a professional team. We're all real estate agents as well. We have knowledge in that. So if we need to help you in a different manner, we could. All of our team is uniformed. We're all professionals. They get 2 hours worth of coaching and training a week. Plus they've all gone through their own coaching and training. Like, I separated what we do based on like the competition. But then the other thing that I did in the beginning was I could talk really well until I knew it was a specific video. And then I was like getting tongue tied. So I just opened up my Zoom. I did this in 2019. I'll post these up someday. 2019 in December, I sat in my basement, which was unfinished and unheated in the winter in Baltimore, my old house. And I put up, it's funny because I put my computer on some paint cans. I ordered some lights off of Amazon, and I just pushed record. And I just talked to the camera, and then I'd go back in. I'd go, okay, that clip was really good. That clip was really good. I just started talking about things, and I would talk for like 20 minutes. And then I went back in and I could segment the clips, but that is the practice. And if you look at those videos today, you're like, oh my God, those are horrific. But you got to start somewhere, and you got to have time on task to get better.
For sure.
Absolutely. You know? So if somebody's having trouble coming up with content, like specific, like, oh, I'm going to shoot content on this and shoot content on that and a 30-second on this, just shoot a 15-minute video of you talking about what you do, and then send it to a person on Fiverr to cut it and put a little music behind it and some what do you call them? The captions. Put captions on it.
Absolutely. It's so easy to get something edited really quick for short money right now, especially using Fiverr, Upwork, all of those sites.
And Canva does it. You literally can buy Canva for $20 and you can learn how to edit on your own within 5 minutes.
Yeah. And you know what? If you're just starting out, you know, you're seeing me and Ian, who can easily, comfortably speak on camera, teach on camera. You know, this is 18 years later, public speaking, being in the real estate investment industry. Don't think you have to be at this level now. Okay. It takes practice. I mean, I have tripped on stage. I have, you know, I've literally off the stage. I have, you know, mumbled. I have forgotten what I needed to say. I've completely forgotten a script while live. Like, there's so many things that have gone wrong, you know, over the course of me public speaking, educating, and being a real estate investor. But just like anything else, public speaking is practice, right? Communication is practice. And the best advice I'm going to give you is really get to know your benefits and how to communicate them and educate people, because they're going to kind of roll off the tongue. The more seller appointments you go to, just reiterating how you can help somebody over and over and over again, it's just going to become second nature. It's just like anything else in life. Practice makes perfect. So,
and I know something else as we wrap up here that you would agree with is document your process.
Yes.
Just document your process. Every single move you make. I don't care what's time you get into the office, what you do when you first get started, how you set your day up, how you goal set, whatever it is, just write it down. Literally, like, we're doing that right now. Aaron and I are writing down every little thing we do. We already have a 28-page process document for FlipTrader alone, by the way. Yeah, and we're still tweaking it because it's not there yet. It's just not the detail that I want yet. So now it's like, okay, what do the VAs do every day, all day? What do Aaron and I do every day, all day? How can we put more on the VA team? How do we have more time for us to do the things that we can only do? Document everything. I literally documented, like, as a real estate agent, I documented my listing presentation in an obsessive rate to where I could tell you how I walk up to the door, where I stand, how I knock, like literally everything step by step.
Absolutely. And that's something I just went over with my students. We had like a year end. I gave them a year end checklist. And I said, listen, even your coffee machine, document how you use it or how to change the filter. I know that sounds silly, but you have to, because if you don't document it, someone is going to bother you and waste your time on it.
100%.
And as like a chief and business owner, you don't want to be spending your time showing people how to use a coffee filter when you could have just written it down and done a video on it once. I know that sounds silly, but it's true. You know, our mail process, even how we save documents, is documented, that everybody in the office can see exactly what, you know, how to save a document on our server, you know?
Yeah. The thing is, when I talk to a lot of people, I've been a coach for a very long time. When I tell people you must document your process in order to build your business or have it sustainable, they're like, yeah, but that's a waste of time. I should be out making money. And I go, here's the thing. That one deal that you paid $500 for the lead, or you're about to refer, you know, give somebody a referral fee for that lead or something like that, and you get everything done properly, and you're inside and you're just winging it. You have no script. You're winging it. And you don't know what questions they're going to ask you because you haven't gone over or built a process for your frequently asked questions or objections from a seller. And you lose it, and you just spent 2 hours doing that appointment and an hour on prep, plus all your lead gen time to get that lead in. What's that cost you? And they go, I don't know. And I go, well, what would you make on a wholesale deal? 15, 20 grand? It costs you 20 grand. So if I said I'll pay you $20,000 to build a process document, would you? And they go, yeah, hands down. I go, great. Go build the process document, because it will cost you $20,000 to $100,000 not being duplicatable in every single, and trackable in every single thing you do, because there are going to be some where you do the same thing every time and you got hit, miss, and you can't get emotional and go, oh, I feel like that didn't work. You have to know why it didn't work and change your process up. Or maybe it was just an outlier. And that's why we get very granular with our processes of our business, because I do not want to get calls from people. Hey, what should I do here? What do I do there? I built all that. You go do it. And if you find that it's your way is better, you can change it, because I empower you to do that.
Absolutely. Hey, and listen, there are no secrets to success. There are systems to success. Right. If you want the #1 recommendation Marina book of all time, it's The E-Myth by Michael Gerber. Don't walk, run, and get that. That's the #1 book. That's the first book I ever read it for in my real estate investing career. And it literally started me off on the right foot. It's all about building systems and how systems are the ultimate you know, key to success for you to scale and freedom, you know, any kind of freedom. So,
yeah. Well, Marina, again, this has been fantastic. It's absolutely been fantastic. And, man, people should be watching these things like 2-3 times, because just the things that you put out here can save them so much time, can make them so much more money, can, oh my God, it's so good. So, and by the way, like I said before, if you need more, Marina's here with an entire additional piece for you. If you need more, don't just stop here. If you're like, oh, I like what she has to say every single week, then contact Marina. Reach out to me, support@fliptrader.com. Reach out to Marina. I'll drop her links in the comments, and just say, hey, I need help. That's what people do who are destined for success, is they say, I can't do this on my own. I need help. And they take action and raise their hand, even just to inquire. Just raising your hand doesn't mean you slide your credit card or you drain your bank account. It just means you ask a question, which takes you one step further than 95% of the competition. And so if you're interested, reach out.
Absolutely. I mean, this is what I do. This is my expertise, you know, bringing leads into your desk, you know, you know, this is literally what I am teaching 100% of the time. You know, I'm not doing other, you know, parts of the business right now, even though I can. I'm really zoning in on the marketing end, because to me, it is the most important and the key to your success, you know, and that's literally what I'm helping real estate investors do. Just get their marketing house in order so they can have killer years, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. All right, my dear. Thank you again.
Thank you, Ian. As always, thank you. Thank you, FlipTrader. And thank you for everybody who was on. Make sure to get your marketing out the door.
Yes.
Signage is next week.
Signage is, I was just thinking about that.
Signage is next week. Yes.
Signage is next week. For those of you that love those little yellow signs sitting at your street corner and signs in the yard, and probably much more than Marina's going to tell us about.
I was going to say that's one of many. So
one of many, yeah. Join us for that. All right, FlipTrader Group. We'll catch you on the next one.